iconic image of Aliana Alexis appeared on the screen, her arms outstretched, and we all gasped as CeCe Winans mirrored her singing Alabaster Box. For a moment, the room was still. We could only imagine the comfort and strength survivors and victims of Hurricane Dorian felt as Jesus' loving arms surrounded them. Today, as we remember the lives lost, honor the survivors, and hold hope for a brighter future, we lift our voices in gratitude, in resilience, and in faith, because this is who we are, Bahamians, grateful for the goodness of God.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that's going to do it for us here in the North on this Feel Good Friday. I'm Enrico Knowles. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys had a great week and an even better weekend. Here's the Bahamas tonight. They're coming your way next.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
First at 11. Following abuse allegations related to the Royal Bahamas Defense Forces Rangers program, changes are underway. Find out how the program will be transformed and under which specific authority. Also, violence and other related gang activity prevailing in parts of Haiti, notwithstanding significant efforts to provide security support. Learn the latest from the Defense Forces Mission Report. And did you have a chance to attend the Bahamas Goombay Summer Festival? Well, we've got all the highlights, including the sights and sounds, as we take a final look at the cultural extravaganza on Bay. Bahamas Tonight at 11 starts now. Good evening and welcome to the broadcast. There's going to be changes to the Defense Force's 30-year-old Rangers program. Commodore Floyd Moxey indicated in an interview with our news team this morning that the program will remain the Royal Bahamas Defense Force Rangers, but will operate under another body related to the Defense Force. This is the end result of a board of inquiry looking into the program's administrative process following abuse allegations this past summer by a Rangers program instructor.
Not only the Rangers program. There were other youth programs like Swim Bahamas and the High program. I moved those under the purview of the Bahamas Military and Maritime Academy because that institution has a more robust command structure and which will ensure the continued growth of the Rangers program. The Rangers program is one of the legacy program of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force that has been around from 1995. And it's important that we ensure that that program succeeds.
26-year-old Marine Seaman Yashua Cox was charged with cruelty to children and indecent assault in relation to the matter that remains before the courts. However, Commodore Moxey is offering assurances to parents who may have been put off by the incident and are reluctant to allow their children to participate following what allegedly occurred.
What I would say to them is that the welfare of their children are paramount to us in the Defense Force. The safety and the security of those children are non-negotiable. We take that very seriously, and we will make every effort to ensure that they are safe and the integrity of that program is maintained.
In related news, despite a Kenyan-led multinational effort to restore peace to Haiti, which in August declared a 3-month state of emergency, there's every indication that turmoil there continues. A Security Council posted just last Friday cites that both the Haitian National Police and the MSS mission have struggled to make significant headway against gangs, while repelling some attacks and reestablishing access to some areas. But as we hear from RBDF Commodore Floyd Moxey, hope remains.
Been tracking it. We've been getting weekly report out of Haiti, and we have been seeing some success. But it is a process. It's not going to happen overnight, but hopefully we'll get there.
The Bahamas committed some 150 Defense Force Marines to the effort in 6-month rotations. Those Marines, though, were not on the front lines, instead conducting Marine patrols and counter-trafficking operations. Commodore Moxie says last October, 6 Marines were deployed in non-combat roles like logistics and human resources. They have since returned, with 3 more now serving in the same capacity. Preparations are being made to ship out more Marines, with no final decision made. But according to the Commodore, that's based on several factors.
United Nations had a resolution, 2699, and that is the resolution that took us to Haiti. And that resolution is expected to expire in October. And so we will await to see what happens with that resolution and what is the government position. And that will determine whether we send more persons into Haiti.
Meantime, a group of foreign nationals facing the consequences of their alleged actions, 4 Haitian men and a Venezuelan, appeared before Chief Magistrate Roberta Reckley on charges of illegal landing and overstaying. They all pleaded guilty and were convicted and handed over to the Department of Immigration for deportation upon payment of fines ranging from $300 to $1,500 or completion of sentences at the Bahamas Department of Corrections. Earlier this week, 19 Haitians were found guilty of various immigration offenses, including overstaying, illegal landing, knowingly misleading an immigration officer, and possession of forged or fraudulent documents. Governor of the Turks and Caicos Islands, Delini Daniel Selvaratnam, paid a courtesy call on the Minister of National Security, Wayne Monroe, at the Ministry of National Security's John F. Kennedy Drive headquarters this morning. The governor, who is the first female to hold this post, and Minister Monroe discussed strengthening diplomatic and community relations. Minister Monroe assured the government's ongoing efforts and support as both countries continue to maintain a good working relationship. Also attending the meeting were Commissioner of Police Shanta Knowles, Turks and Caicos Police Commissioner Fitz Bailey, Defense Force Commodore Floyd Moxie, and retired Commodore Tellis Bethel. The Integra Rosewood multi-million-dollar project to create an ultra-luxury resort on one of Exuma's most eyed keys is one step closer to fruition. Shovels went into the ground yesterday to jumpstart the project, and as Corvell Pyfrom reports, this development has the Davis administration's full backing.
And this is a partnership that I truly believe in.
Exuma MP, Deputy Prime Minister the Honourable Chester Cooper, without question, is normally, even dutifully, Exuma's biggest cheerleader. But on this occasion, it was Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis.
I want everyone to know. I want the world to know. I want the detractors to know that I, Brave Davis, support this venture.
The groundbreaking ceremony for Integra's Rosewood ultra-luxury resort, Prime Minister Davis silencing naysayers and looking ahead to what the project will reap, not only for Exuma, but beyond.
This project will bring jobs in construction. It will bring careers in hospitality once the resort opens. It will bring business opportunities for local entrepreneurs and suppliers, as the principle of Integra has mentioned. It will create demands for farmers, fishers, and small businesses who can contribute to the success of this resort. And it will showcase the culture of Exuma.
The $200 million project has been met with fierce pushback, challenges about its ecological impact, questions about its commitment to these pristine keys. Developer Philippe MacLean pushed back.
This project is a responsible development that has been meticulously planned with every detail carefully considered to ensure that Rosewood Exuma redefines the hospitality standards of excellence.
The groundbreaking ceremony's guest of honor, as it turned out, was Mother Nature, who provided a spectacular downflow of showers. In true Bahamian fashion, Integra's MacLean called them a blessing. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corvell Pyfrom.
Thanks so much, Corvell. That pilot dispute aboard a Bahamas Air flight last Sunday not ending well. Airline officials releasing a statement that the crew involved has been removed from active duty, and this in line with its policies and regulatory requirements. That decision taken as a formal investigation into the incident, which led to a delay of its Abaco flight into West Palm Beach, Florida. Bahamas Air Deputy Managing Director Siobhan Cambridge noting in the release that they are taking the matter very seriously, adding that while safety was never at risk, professionalism and accountability are non-negotiable. He promised that the investigation will not only be thorough, but that every necessary step will be taken to ensure such an incident does not occur again. After a 2-year hiatus, U.S.-based Frontier Airlines will return to Nassau in December with its new nonstop service from Linden-Pinling International Airport to Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. Frontier Airlines officials maintain the weekly service unlocks affordable travel to Atlanta and the many destinations the airline serves. Frontier last served Nassau in September 2023. Still to come, meet the Bahamas Red Cross's new executive team. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight at 11. More news in just a moment.
It has the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of. Now it's here. Commonwealth Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly approval. It's a service that just comes naturally to us, just like how love of tradition comes naturally to you. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Wait, where you grabbing all these pizzas, boy?
Wait, Marcos, wait. We have a special on all the large one-topping pizzas, wait.
Pineapple.
All.
Barbecue.
All. Hey, VAT included, but.
I need the $10 special plate.
How many would you like?
20 in it. Thank you so much, man. $10, that's it? The Marcos got that deal, boy.
Welcome back. United Nations representatives admit that in recent years, the Bahamas hasn't made satisfactory progress, on certain environmental issues. With that in mind, there's just 5 years remaining to fill 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. Daniel Dean explains a plan to get the Bahamas back on track.
United Nations Resident Coordinator for the Bahamas, Dennis Zulu's comments came at the 4th Annual United Nations Sustainable Development Goals Forum.
As you know, across the world, including the Bahamas, we've not been doing terribly well in terms of progress towards the 2030 agenda. So this today is an important opportunity for us sitting together as development partners in the Bahamas to really look back and see how we can strengthen our partnership to be able to assist the Bahamas as it progresses towards achieving Vision 2030.
Since UN adoption in 2015, the Bahamas provided the world's body with 3 voluntary national reviews. In 2019, another in 2021, which detailed the country's lack of preparedness for the effects of climate change, Hurricane Dorian used as an example, and the country's economic struggle post-COVID-19. And the 2025 VNR outlined issues like a rise in sexual violence against women and girls, and damage and loss worth $6 billion from hurricanes between 2002 and 2022.
For us, that's very important because, as you know, we need to prepare better.
Zulu says climate change is a job for more than just one organization to tackle. The Bahamas Development Bank, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and now the Organization for Responsible Governance are among agencies partnering to help reach the goals. Executive Director of Organization for Responsible Governance, Matt Aubrey.
We want to make sure that stakeholders, vulnerable stakeholders in communities that have been left behind, our family island youth, women, marginalized communities, folks with disabilities, all of those voices are part of the solution because most of our policies affect them most directly.
Along with building intergenerational partnerships in country, Minister of the Environment and Natural Resources, the Honorable Vaughn Miller, says this remains a priority for the government.
Aligning national strategies with global cooperation. We are a small island state that faces large and external shocks. We cannot carry them alone.
The next progress assessment is set for 2026. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Thanks so much, Danielle. We can also tell you tonight that the Bahamas Union of Teachers has seemingly convinced the government not to move ahead just yet with plans to implement bi-weekly salary payments, at least for teachers. That decision made after BUT President Belinda Wilson's meeting with the Prime Minister this week, during which agreements were reached.
The verification process will be paused, effective immediately, for at least 2 weeks. 2, the biweekly salary payments are on hold. And 3, by next week, I should have the information as to the salary increases and how much each of you will be receiving on September payday.
Meantime, the Bahamas Red Cross's new executive committee received their instruments of appointment at Government House last night. The 21-member team will serve for about 2 terms that will run from 2025 to 2027. CJ Atlantic presented a $10,000 check to assist the Red Cross with its daily operations. After accepting the generous gift, Chairman His Excellency Edison Sumner encouraged the new inductees and corporate Bahamas to continue to put service above self.
Every dollar, every commitment will be open and clear. We owe it to those we serve and to the institution that we inherited. But accountability isn't just about numbers. It's about stewardship. I will work closely with every member of the Executive Committee to ensure that we hold ourselves and each other responsible for the trust that was placed in us.
The Red Cross's Governance, Risk, Audit and Compliance Chairman, Derek Smith Jr., outlined his 2-year agenda.
For the BRAC of the Red Cross is to ensure that we build off the good foundation, the 7 pillars of the Red Cross internationally, to ensure that there's integrity within the work, ensure that there's good governance, there's good risk management, and we continue to be good stewards of our financial partners.
The sights, sounds, and flavors all came together on the final night of the Bahamas Goombay Summer Festival. Diane Dorsett takes us behind the scenes.
Goombay Summer Festival, the event where culture always takes center stage. The lights, sounds, and explosion of Bahamian culture filled the night as Bahamians and tourists gathered for the last Goombay celebration. Food vendors lined Bay Street with Bahamian delicacies like conch fritters and daiquiris, and just steps away, a glass blower shaped molten fire into delicate glass sculptures. And when the fire dancer performed, sparks flew, literally. Flames lit the festival, and the goatskin drums of Junkanoo kept the crowd moving. But at the heart of Friday night's show, the headline band, Shad Colley and the VIPs. The band who had everyone on their feet from the first beat's drop to the last. But before the big stage, there's the work. We caught up with the band in rehearsal, where every song was fine-tuned to create the high-energy experience we all expect.
So we've been practicing now for almost a month, and we're so excited to hit the stage.
And on stage, the energy poured out in every note. Events like Goombay Summer Festival allow Bahamian artists to showcase our music and our culture.
I feel elated to share my culture, my talent with the Bahamas. I'm just given a grand opportunity.
And with this year's Summer Festival now over, everyone is eager and ready for next year. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Diane Dorsett.
If you missed it, you're going to have to wait till next year to catch it. Al-Majal Knowles has a look at what's coming up in sports tonight. Al-Majal?
And part 2 of our conversation with B2S President Tramico Archer. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
Make
your company representative stand out through an embroidery design on your uniforms from Janae's Uniform Center, Chesapeake Road. Janae's utilizes the latest state-of-the-art embroidery technology to monogram large and small quantities of shirts, caps, bags, and other articles. If you don't already have a digitized logo, Janae's can design and digitize your idea and bring it to life. Then install the logo of your choice from their large selections of 27 stock colors of golf shirts in cotton or dry fit, caps, or workwear. Call 394-8385 or 6 or visit www.janays.com.
Honey barbecue, sweet and spicy on noon. Signature hot wings. What's your flavor? Roasted garlic parmesan, tastes so good, chicken. Those pepper wings.
Now available at Popeyes in Nassau.
Welcome to your TGIF Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. More from our conversation with BTUS President Rico Archer just ahead of the World Athletics Championship set to take place in Tokyo, Japan next weekend. Archer speaking candidly about the team, addressing the absence of the country's two biggest sprint superstars, Shawnee Miller-Weibo and Stephen Gardner.
I think that in all things, there's a season, eh? Shawnee and Stephen Gardner would ordinarily be described as superheroes. Superheroes in a global context, but also in a local and domestic context. But they have their lives, and they're human. There's a human quality about them to say that, listen, I have a family. I'm affected when my family, when something happens to my family, or I'm affected when I have to take care of my family. In the case of Shawnee, we all know that, motherhood has been a priority for her, as it should be. So she's been dealing with managing her family affairs as a part of her growth and a new dimension to her life. I think that that's a good thing. Stephen Gardner, with the passing of his father, in fact, this weekend, they will be putting him to rest. It's a very sobering time for him. I know that they've had a very, very close relationship. And so, again, it's the human part of people that we have to appreciate as well. And
that aside, Archer says he expects the country to have great representation at the championships.
And while we will not have a relay team, I think if you go back in history, with a 15-member team, this probably will be the largest individual team that we will be carrying to the World Championships. So at least you'll get to see more athletes representing each respective event.
So on track, the University of the Bahamas' track program kicking off this year's competition with two cross-country teams in action, competing at the Kaiser University Flagship Invitational this morning. Levin Joseph with the best time for the men's team on the 5K course. His time, he finished in 18 minutes and 1/10 of a second to place 38th out of 72 competitors.
The plan was to run more comfortable than usual. I didn't want to get out too fast and then ending up, not being able to finish towards the end. So it was a good race. I think it was a good race.
On the women's side, UB cross-country newcomer Bernicia Nelson led the team with a 25-minute finish in the women's 5K event. Naja Mortimer was second in 26 minutes, and Sienna Mackey was third in 27:40.
It was kind of rough for my first time because I'm still getting used to running long distance, like running cross country on the whole. But during the race, I started off with the crew. They pulled away. I kept going. As I went on, I passed a lot of other females, and I just kept going.
And schools are back in session, which means school sports are on the horizon. After its inaugural season, the BAIS hoping to build on its baseball program. The national sports team catching up with the head coach over at Queens College, who gives us an outlook of what to expect this year.
Well, definitely, we're glad to have the kids back, and we're certainly doing our preparation. And what we're doing here with our junior program is we're just trying to build off last year. We finished fourth, we made the playoffs, and we lost a very good St. Anne's Junior Boys team that, won the inaugural championship. And so we just want to build off of that. We have a lot of great kids that came in from our 6th grade, as well as some kids that came in from other schools.
And that's been your TGIF Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles. Enjoy your weekend.
It's me, Wednesday Addams. Your life just took a dark turn. I regret to inform you that I have devised the meal of misfortune with Wendy's. It's pure torture for your taste buds, with 4 nightmarish dips of dread. Don't waste my time asking which ones you'll get. You must surrender to your fate. Enjoy the anguish.
Bahamas' biggest night this November 1st. Join Elias Promotions, YBE Promotions, Bahamas Ministry of Tourism, and Bahamas Air as they present the Fall in Love 90s R&B Concert Series at the National Stadium Ground. Performing for the first time, Tyrese comes to Bahamas to deliver an unforgettable performance. Also performing R&B sensation Uncle Sam. The Fall in Love 90s R&B Concert Series, Saturday, November 1st at the National Stadium Ground, Nassau. Tyrese and Uncle Sam together for the first time in Nassau. Advance tickets are available now at all Cash and Go locations, or log on to cashandgobahamas.com for info. Call 242-427-8111 or call 242-357-0116. Be there.
A new dawn rises, ushering in an historic moment for the Methodist Church in the Caribbean and the Americas. This Sunday, September 7th at 10 a.m., tune into the ZNS Network live from Wesley Methodist Church, Malcolm Road, for the service of induction of Reverend Claire Kathleen Robinson as the first female president and bishop, and Miss Esther Joy Sargent as vice president of the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos Islands Conference. Join us for this celebration of faith, leadership, and history in the making. That's Sunday, September 7th at 10 a.m., live from Wesley Methodist Church, Malcolm Road in Nassau, Bahamas, on the ZNS Television Network.
This was my daughter. I wanted her to be the cheerleader she had always talked about, to go to school dances, and to hang out with boys.
The images of Kennedy's eyes show trauma. Trauma like I haven't seen.
It's a disorder that keeps the cells from ridding themselves of waste.
Light it up, we can be a million stars. 'Cause this is our world, and this is our time, and these are our plans. We're gonna let them shine. This is our place. In the human race, and we won't stop dreaming. No, we won't stop dreaming.
It's time for your final weather check of the evening with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Royston. We are starting you off in the tropics, and we continue to look at that area of showers and thunderstorms in the far eastern Atlantic. It has become a little better organized, and we're giving it a 40% chance of development in the short term, and over the long term, about a 70% chance of development. As a matter of fact, our futuristic track is showing that it could become a tropical depression or a tropical storm as early as Sunday as it continues to move towards the west. And intensification by Tuesday, possibly even a hurricane on our hands, and that will move right into the northern portion of the Lesser Antilles, and then clipping Puerto Rico before approaching Hispaniola. At that point is when we will start to look at this system very, very seriously. And then on our satellite pictures, you can see those showers and thunderstorms associated with that live tropical wave to the southwest of the Cape Verde Island. Well, that is the one that we anticipate will develop into the next tropical storm. We also have a mid-level low that is spinning out there north of the northern Leeward Islands as well. And near the Bahamas, we have that stall-out frontal boundary, which has been dumping heavy showers and thunderstorms over the greater part of the northwest and central Bahamas for the last several days, and it's going to remain with us right through the weekend and into the early part of next week. And our temperatures around the family of islands this evening, we have 82 degrees in Marshall, Babaco, Greenville, Kia, 81. 81 also in Freeport, Grand Bahama, the Berry Islands, 82 degrees, Allenstown, Bimini, 80. 83 in Harbor Island. In Roxanne, Eleuthera, 80 degrees there. Otterstown, Cat Island, a bit warmer at 88 degrees. Black Point, Exuma, Kemp's Bay, South Andros, 85. 84 in Fresh Creek, Central Andros. Georgetown, Exuma at 87, Rum Key and San Salvador at 88 degrees, and then we get some cooler temperatures where we're having some heavy showers around the Crooked Island area, 79 degrees there, Clarence Town at 79, also Ragged Island 79, Ackland's 87, 87 in Betsy Bay, Maguana, Turks and Caicos Islands 86 degrees, and Matthew Tiny-Nago at 86 degrees. Forecast tonight, we're looking at the clouds breaking a bit, but a bit on the warm side, but that low temperature just around 80 degrees. And tomorrow, this is how things are going to shape up. You're going to have some sun and areas of high clouds during the morning hours, but then mostly cloudy in the afternoon with a thunderstorm or two developing. The high temperature tomorrow once again climbing up to 90 degrees, and your extended weather forecast shaping up like this. Those showers going to be off and on right through the weekend, as I told you already. We'll see a little bit of sun on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but in between, you'll still have those pockets of showers and thunderstorms. And as we head into the late part of the week, as that tropical wave gets a little closer, which will possibly be a tropical storm by then, we will see showers and skies ticketing up, and those showers becoming more intense as we head into next weekend. And all that cloud deck will keep those temperatures nice and tame below the 90-degree mark for the next 7 days, with the nighttime temperature still muggy in the low 80s. Bryson.
Rain to contend with for a couple of more days, but cool weather sounds very good to me. Thanks, Basil. Well, that's going to do it for the Bahamas tonight at 11. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. Thank you for watching, and have a great weekend.
At the Lyndon Bindling International Airport, I'm Corvell Pyfrom. This is ZNS.
Hey, where's Mr. King? I haven't seen him all day.
Child, he's upstairs getting ready for his big Army reunion. He and his old cronies are getting together so they can tell a whole bunch of lies and talk about their days in the service.
How long ago was he in the Army?